Hi, everybody. Erica here from In the Company of Cards, uh, weekend edition. I'll probably do another video as well tomorrow, double weekend edition, since we are getting down to the wire. Oh, I have my heater on. Let me turn it off. Um, so thank you to all who came to my live the other night. That was wonderful. Thrilled to see you all there. I think you all enjoyed it, and so I will be doing another one New Year's Eve. Um, I'll give you the details, as we get closer to the time. But I was happy to meet so many of you and help you with some answers to some of your personal questions. Bear in mind, I do not answer personal questions here. Here I look at sort of the energy for all of us and our various situations, both domestically and internationally. So today, even though I said I wasn't going to do it, I do want to look at a couple of things, couple of states maybe, or yeah, I would like to look at the blue wall. Um, in case you don't know, the blue wall are the three states, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan. And they are really important states, must-win states. I have a very good feeling about Pennsylvania, um, but I want to look at the blue wall, sort of the three of them together. And I think I'm just going to pull uh, three cards for Harris on the blue wall and three cards for 45. And let's just see which set of three looks better. Okay, cards are already shuffled. Okay, so we're looking at the blue wall, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan. And these three cards will be Harris, and these three cards will be 45. Okay. Um, you know, it's still close. I really like Harris's cards. We have the anchor, the ring, but then we have the book. And remember that the book is about things we don't know. Things are still up in the air. If you are in one of those states, if you know people who are in those states, vote. Just vote. But this it looks solid. An anchor looks very solid. So does the ring, committed to the cause, so to speak. But you know, the book, we don't. It'll be close. 45's cards, again, as I said, this is a close race. So 45's cards look good too. We have the younger man, we have the dog, and we have the tower. Uh, he has friends in high places, friends who will help him uh, skew things like polls, etc. But these are all good cards too. I think that the blue wave, whether it is a blue wave or not, with these states remains to be seen. I thought I'd see something more definitive, but the energy is still too up in the air. So again, if you're in one of those states, vote, 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 vote. I also would like to look at Florida. I've been saying for a while that I thought Florida would go blue. Um, there have been a couple of times when I've seen not that that wouldn't happen, but I really want to look at Florida one more time. This is the last time I will look uh, at Florida because Tuesday's around the corner. But let's see what Florida will do. So I'm just going to cut into three again, and I'm going to do the same thing. This is Florida for Harris, and this is Florida for 45. Again, really, really close. I like this for Harris because this is the card for transformation. Why am I interpreting it that way? Well, because we've got the rider in the middle, that's sort of news coming in. And what's the news? The key. It's the best card in the deck next to the sun. She could pull out Florida. Now, bear in mind, 45 has good cards too. We have again the dog. He's got friends there. Historic positive change for him. And then we have the fox. And again, this is I think in this case, being up to no good, trying to skew the vote. Um, I think I'm still going to say that Florida goes for Harris. That's what I think. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I think Florida will go for Harris. All right, those are the states that I wanted to look at. But there's some other issues I'd like to look at as well. So we have now passed October, and I know that and I'm not the only one, so I don't feel that bad about it, really thought that 45 would have been, we'll call it, taken ill by now, entertainment purposes only, you two. He has physically not been taken ill. I did see that little slip of his foot when he tried to get into the sanitation truck. But I mean, to to give him his due, that I think the ground was wet and slippery, so that could have been why he slipped. So I'm not gonna have that mean anything. But remember that health is mental, spiritual, physical, psychological, and his mind is just, I don't know how many of you saw he's been having issues with microphones. The microphones in various venues have not worked or have cut out or whatever, and he's been very annoyed about that, which is understandable. But it happened again last night, and he, I'm sure, I mean, I have to figure out how I'm going to put this so that it's YouTube friendly. He made gestures, plural, with this microphone to simulate, I was going to say stimulate, to simulate a certain act that is not prime time appropriate. So I would like to know, why did he do that? I mean, obviously, I have my own theories, but why did he simulate a certain act? Starts with an F, ends with an O, if you want the technical word for it, with that microphone last night. What was that about? And I'm just going to let Spirit decide what the focus card should be for that. Why did he do that? Okay. Why did 45 simulate a certain lewd act with the microphone last night at his rally? What was that about? All right. Okay. I think it's pretty clear. I mean, so we have the mice, we have the younger man, we have the heart, the moon, and the letter. All right. So the reason that he was crass is also crass. He is, he's scared. I don't care what polls you're looking at. I don't care whom you're talking to. I'm going to say it again. Harris will be the next president. I know it. I hope you know it. And guess what? He knows it too. He's scared. And so, one group that he really doesn't want to lose, the group that he really wants to um, win over and keep with him, are these young incel men. Uh, that's what this stands for, these young men. He wants them to love him. The love card of the heart is in the center of this five card spread. So he thought that what he would do to win them over, to make them think that he's cool, that he's what? Uh, I don't know, a real man like they want to be. It's his reputation and image. He simulated something with a microphone. Get my drift? Uh, it's crude. And what happened? He got laughs. And to him, laughs equal approval. Final card in the line is the letter because he's afraid. First, this is the first card, this is the last card. He is afraid of even losing their votes. So he did this really low appeal to them to get them on side, to make them love him. Oh my God, did you see what he did? That kind of thing. It was a sort of a desperate, immature, weird thing to do, and really beyond weird. I mean, did you ever have thought that you would see a presidential candidate simulating that on television in front of everybody? He's not well. He is not well. You hear me? The man is not well. Further, uh, I want to talk about the Liz Cheney comment. So he is, and I think Glenn Kirshner talked about this on his channel. 45, aside from running for president, as you know, he is also he is under what is it called? Oh, he's got he's under pre-trial release and also pre-sentencing release, which is to say that he has been convicted, right, in the New York case, and he was released prior to being sentenced. Remember, the sentencing is meant to happen, I think, 2 days before Thanksgiving. It's the 26th of November that he's meant to be sentenced. Beyond that, he's also in pre-trial release for other cases. Okay. A release meaning that they didn't do what they would do with you or me. They have not locked him up in advance of sentencing, and in the other cases, in advance of the trial. He's free. Okay. But that freedom is conditional. You have to meet certain conditions in order to stay free. If you and I were granted that freedom, which we probably wouldn't be, we would have to meet certain conditions. And, I mean, at a minimum, one of the conditions is that you don't sell wolf tickets, as my mother would say, about killing your rivals or killing anybody. So what did he do? For those of you who don't know, he was in an interview, and he said, let's put her, meaning Liz Cheney, let's put her with the rifles there, with the 9 barrels pointing at her face. Now, as Glenn Kirshner pointed out, the verb let us do this can be interpreted as encouragement, instruction. To do what? To put Liz Cheney in front of 9 barrels, in front of a firing squad. That is not on. That is not done. That is not allowed. So the question is, so now he faces some issues. I want to look at whether he will be remanded into custody because of what he did. Now, by the way, as Glenn Kirshner has warned us, if he were remanded into custody, it certainly would not happen prior to the election. So don't think that that's going to happen. But the minute that that election is decided, and as I've already told you, it will be for Harris. We may not know that Tuesday night. We may not know that Wednesday morning. It may take a couple of days, but soon. I mean, we will know soon. Then he's just Joe Citizen, former president, yes, but Joe Citizen. Will he be remanded into custody pending his sentencing in New York, and then in the other case, pending trial? So that's what I want to look at. Um, will he be remanded? Now, the other thing to look at is the fact that he did this in Arizona. And Arizona is looking into whether he can be, in addition to everything else he's facing, excuse me, whether he can be criminally charged. So I think I'll look at that first. Will 45 be criminally charged in Arizona for his terroristic threat, I'm going to call it, against Liz Cheney? So let's just look at that. Will he be criminally charged in Arizona? Okay, so we have the scales, the fish, the anchor, the cross, and the book. Here's what I think. Now, this is the extra card that I added to the Lenormand deck. Somebody on one of the viewers said to me, "Oh, that card means justice." Well, okay. To you, it may mean justice. For me, it's about, I mean, this is my card and I created it. Um, for me, it's cause and effect. And you could argue that that is justice. You could argue that. I think that what happened will be weighed. I mean, I know that they are trying to see if they can charge him with this, um, because emotionally, this was. I mean, can you imagine how she must have felt? This was damaging to her emotionally, and inciting to his incel fans. Um, now, you know, criminally charged. This is also the card for money. Could he be civilly charged? I don't know, but I feel like this is more about emotion than money. Uh, I think that they will really try to hold his feet to the fire on this. And I think that they will try to throw the book at him. This is the book being thrown at him. And this will be painful for him. You can't just go around saying that. Now, again, this won't come to any kind of conclusion until after the election. But I do think Arizona will find that they have grounds to prosecute him. Now, am I saying that he's going to be convicted? No, but I think he'll be prosecuted. And then the other thing I want to look at is, um, will his after the election, because nothing's going to happen prior, once it has been determined that Harris is the winner of the election, I'm taking that as a given, uh, will in any jurisdiction 45's pre-release, pre-sentencing, and pre-trial release, will the conditions of his release, anywhere that he has conditions of release, will those conditions of release be revoked? Now, what would happen then is that he and his lawyers would be asked to show cause as to why he should not be locked up. So there would be a hearing. It's not like he would be immediately remanded to jail, but there would be a hearing. So will, in fact, there be that hearing about him losing his freedom, pending, on the one hand, sentencing, and on the other hand, trial? Okay. So again, I'm going to let Spirit give me the central card. Okay. Will 45 have to show cause why he should not be remanded to custody because of his remarks about his incitement of violence against Liz Cheney? There's 45 right in the middle. Mm. This is a pretty unsatisfactory line, but I might draw clarifiers. So we have the ring, scales again, 45, tree, and book. Now, you know, again, there will be more than one legal jurisdiction looking at this, right? Because in the at one place he faces trial, the other place he faces sentencing. So this will be looked at again. Should he be? So I think that actually this is the card for looking at that again, re-looking at it. It's a circle coming back to this issue. Should he be free, pending sentencing, pending trial, or not? I think this will be weighed. Yes, I think they will be looking at this. Here he is. But I will tell you that, not to beat a dead horse, I find it very interesting that this tree comes up. This is the card for health. I think once he realizes that he's lost, like once it's decided, his health is gonna take a real downturn. And whether or not he is even, um, you know, able to go to a hearing or be incarcerated will be up in the air. So I'm going to pull a couple of clarifiers. I think on him, on the tree, and on the book. So I'll let you watch me do that. Oops. Well, got to get the angle right. Okay. Um, okay. Okay. So for him, this is 45. We have the bouquet, we have the tower, and we have the whip. I think these are very interesting cards. He has been given a gift. This is the card for the gift by being out and free to do whatever he's doing. That's the gift that the courts have given him by allowing him to be free. But this gift, and whether he should continue to have it, that will be argued in court. This is a card for argue. So that will be argued in court. Um, for the tree, I pulled the rider, the house, and the stork. Uh, because of his health and the news that we get about his health, I think he will get a better situation. This is a card for positive change than he would otherwise. I think he'll get house arrest. I think he'll get house arrest. Uh, and then I pulled cards on the book, and I have the young man, the woman, and the dog. I think that, if he gets house arrest, which I think he will, we don't know how his incel followers will feel about that. I mean, they could say, you know what? A, he lost the election. B, he's a loser on house arrest. So, should we, Is he really the horse we need to be betting on? I think there'll be some reevaluation there, and I think we need to be open to people wanting to come in out of the cold, so to speak. This is Harris, and and these are lawyers. So I think that the lawyers, I can mirror this lawyer card with the ring. The lawyers will go round and around and around and around and around this, but I think he'll get house arrest after the election. Um, as a result of these comments about Liz Cheney. And by the way, that's not all. I mean, I am sure he will do a few more things between now and and when Harris is declared the winner. He is getting stranger and stranger, entertainment purposes only. That microphone incident was just unconscionable. What he said about Liz Cheney also unconscionable. And I think his chickens, as Malcolm X would say, coming home to roost. Um, I think that's all I want to look at today. If you have questions for me in the next days, I think that election questions are probably what you'll have, and I'm happy to look at those for you if you have specific questions. We'll get on to, the rest of the world once these few days are over. I know everybody is just sort of laser focused on this election. Let me remind you again. Harris will be the next president, period. Um, if you've not done it before, please like, share, subscribe, and I will come back with another weekend edition tomorrow. Okay. All right. Take care.